Love or hate him, which I very much so do, you have to admit that he had a good run from 2017 to 2019. You know, pretty short career, but, you know, whatever. As you might know, everyone's favorite Latino that says the N-word more than Leafy said cringe back before he got fat and became even more of a loser. Now, back in 2015, he decided to pull an essay. Daniel Hernandez decided that it was a good idea to gang essay a 13-year-old girl along with a group of other men. Now, on top of this, she was also very drunk and high at the same time around these grown men, 18 to about 25, 26 years old. After this, Tamely, one of the other subhumans in the room, destroying that child's life, but decided to also post 3 videos of what happened online, which is obviously distribution of CP. Daniel, you know, specifically touched her butt and did things while he was behind her. Now, guess what the outcome of this was? Did they all get 40 years in prison? No. Did they get 30 years in prison? No. Did they get 10 years in prison? No. Did they get the death sentence? No. They got 4 years probation. That's it. Essaying a 13-year-old, let alone a group of men doing it, gets you 4 years of probation. After he pled guilty once again. Now granted, you know, this wasn't Harlem, so she was also a minor. And given the demographics of Harlem, 0% chance she was white, 0% chance she was Asian. So she was either black or Latina. And if you're also in the US, you also know that the only way that she would actually get justice is if she was a white woman. Maybe an Asian woman, but 100% if she was white. Which is extremely fucking sad, but I mean, I digress. So, if you're remotely tuned into rap, which you obviously are if you're on my channel, you know that back in 2018, 2019, he had the big RICO case because of his affiliation with the 9 Trade Bloods. He snitched, and pretty much every popular rapper at the time was coming at him and shitting on him. From A Boogie to 50 Cent to Snoop Dogg, Meek Mill, King Von, Lil Durk, and everyone in between. Now, for example, you know, A Boogie dropped Hoodie Season in 2018, which was before the RICO case even went public. And it was one of the biggest songs on the album. And after the news came out of him snitching, he shot the video for it, didn't have Daniel in the video, and also took his verse out the music video as well, along with sending a bunch of other disses to him, and people like Comethazine. And out of all these rappers that made their diss like public, at least that I know of, at least I'm not gonna act like I know every single person that did, but out of all these people that did it, I have the utmost respect for Trippie Redd. Because around 2017 or so, right when Pulse 14 released, he pretty much cut off Daniel immediately, which is good. And it was because he found out about the essay case. Now, fast forward back to like 2018, 2019, when everyone and their mom decided to have an opinion on Daniel for snitching. The most civilian people of all time decided to say, you know, oh, I don't mess with rats. He's a rat. I'm not gonna listen to his music. I'm not gonna stream his music. I'm not gonna go support his tours. Or I'm not gonna go buy his merch. These are the same people in AP Calculus doing their homework and getting ready to go to Duke University for their fucking chemical engineering degree. And Billy working a 9 to 5, or Isaiah to working construction. No affiliations, no ties to nothing, never sold drugs in their life, never did anything, never had anyone in their family or any friends like that at all whatsoever. Obviously, you know, these people's opinions don't matter, right? I don't give a fuck. They don't matter. But when we go back to the street rappers and all these people, once again, like Lil Durk and Comethazine that were dissing them and shit, it's kind of weird when you think about it, since all their music is, you know, about street code, and, you know, I live by prison rules and I do this and I do that, and you act like this. It's honestly very disheartening, and I was very disappointed in them. Not to say that I like really gave a fuck about them at all, but I mean, you would kind of expect at least some type of anything, right? So my question is, how are you so street and this and that, and you're a gangbanger and you've killed X many people, when you won't even stand up for your own mother, your daughter, your niece, or your cousin? snitching on a bunch of gang members that, respectfully, 9 times out of 10 were already going to end up dead or in jail anyway, are much more of a negative thing to you and a priority instead of a child having her life, you know? The rest of her human interactions and perception of men ruined for the rest of her life. Completely. And it's going to be very, very, very hard and take years of therapy, if not decades, to come back from that, if she can even come back from that. You know, I'm not a tough guy at all, and neither do I act like it at all. But aren't women beaters and pedos the first to go in prisons? Isn't there like an on-site rule for them anywhere you go, and anytime you can get them and get to them? You know, I just hate that all these rappers act like this, but the moment they actually have someone in their same sphere to talk about or do something about, they just decide not to. And they want to pick and choose whoever they want to start shit with. Like, for example, A Boogie beat the shit out of Lil B for apparently talking shit. And Lil B is one of the most chill rappers of all time. He doesn't do shit. He's extremely positive. He doesn't start beef with anyone besides maybe Kevin Durant. And he doesn't do shit. He stays in his lane and he shuts the fuck up. I mean, sure, you know, he'll ask women for feet pics or whatever. He'll be a little weird. But, you know, that's not too crazy. So how the fuck do you have more smoke for Lil B than a fucking pedophile? Do whatever you want to these other gang members and affiliated people. Cool. You know, that's the life you chose and the life they chose. Granted, not everyone is always born into it, and some people don't always have an option. But don't shoot Mike down the block for taking a brick of coke of you and stealing it from you when James is right around the corner and he's out there touching his nephew.